بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Chapter number 13 of organic chemistry is carboxylic acids, and our today's topic is amino acid. So what are we going to learn about amino acids? Let's see the summary. So basically we are going to cover these 7 topics in the amino acids. First one is introduction. Next comes types of amino acids. Then we will see character or nature, or you can say behavior of amino acids when something is added. Next is how they can be prepared, what type of the reactions they show, their chemical test, and how they will form proteins. So let's start from the introduction. Let me introduce amino acids. As we said that this is the chapter of organic chemistry. So it means here we will discuss carbon, which is the organic chemistry backbone. So carbon is attached to carboxylic acids, COOH on one side, hydrogen on other side, and R alkyl group on the other side. Fourth side is occupied by NH2 group. This is the general structure for all the amino acids, right? It is also known as alpha amino acid because amine group is attached to the carbon which is at alpha position to carbonyl. First directly attached to the carbonyl carbon is called as alpha carbon, and amino group is attached to alpha carbon. So that's why it is also called as alpha amino acids. These amino acids are of two types. They make proteins. There are total 20 amino acids present in our body. Out of 20 amino acids, 10 amino acids can make or synthesize proteins which are present in our body. So these 10 amino acids are known as non-essential amino acid. And the other 10 amino acids are called as essential amino acids. Right? Next is the category of types of amino acids. Types means on which classification or categories we can divide these amino acids. Few amino acids are neutral. Some amino acids are acidic in nature, and some amino acids are basic. This part, carboxylic acid part, make them acidic, and this NH2 part, ammonia part, make them basic. If both groups are in 1:1, then they are neutral. Two carboxylic part, two groups of NH2 attached to a compound, 2:2, again they are neutral. In equal amounts both groups are present, then they will be called as neutral. But if a compound contains two carboxylic group and one amine group, it means it has more acidic part than basic. So it will be considered as acidic. For example, aspartic acid. Aspartic acid is having the general formula of this. Here you can see that this compound contains one carboxylic part here and the other carboxylic part over here. 2 carboxylic ratio 1 amine. It means there is more acidic nature than basic. So it comes under the category of acidic amino acids. Next come basic amino acids, which have more amino group attached to a compound than carboxylic group. They will be called as basic amino acids. For example, lysine, and this lysine is having the general formula of this. Here you can see one amino group here and the other amino group is here. So it is having 2 amino group ratio 1 carboxylic group. So it is having more basic part as compared to acidic part. So that's why it is basic amino acids. So there are 3 types of amino acids. Neutral amino acids, in which acidic and basic part are equal. Then is acidic amino acids, in which there is more acidic group attached than basic groups. And third is basic amino acids, in which more basic parts are attached than the acidic parts. Next category is character, nature or behavior. When an acid or a base is added, how they will react. As our amino acid is having general formula of HRNH2COOH, this H can be replaced by this nitrogen. Nitrogen attack this H and drags itself towards itself. It becomes NH3. By use of lone pair, it gets positive charge HR, and oxygen get here negative charge. This is known as zwitterion. Dipolar ion is known as zwitterion. Two poles are present in the same compound. It is known as zwitterion. So our amino acids always exist in this form. Whenever an acid is added to this compound, acid means it is having more H positive, or it has the ability to donate H positive in medium. So H positive is coming from an acid. So acid gives H positive. It will react with this H positive by accepting this proton, and the compound becomes NH3 positive CHRCOOH. It means this acid was being added to decrease the pH, to change the pH, but this H get bonded with this O negative and there is no further decrease of pH. So overall solution becomes neutral. Now as this amino acid is accepting this proton, so it is behaving like a base here. Proton is acid, so it is behaving like a base here and neutralizing this acid. Similarly, when a base is added, base provide OH negative and amino acid will react with that base as an acid. How? In this case, amino acid become an acid by shifting or donating this one proton to this base. OH negative plus one proton from here makes water plus CHR COO negative and NH2. So here it is donating this proton, so it is behaving like an acid and reacting with this base. Here it is accepting this proton from this part, so it is behaving like a base. So our amino acid behave as an acid as well as a base depending upon what are you adding on it. If you are adding an acid, it will behave like a base. If you are adding a base, it will behave like an acid. Next point come preparation of these amino acids. Amino acid can be prepared by two ways. In the first case, or in the first method, we prepare amino acids by alpha bromo acids. We take a carboxylic acid or CH2 C double bond OOH and we add bromine in it in presence of phosphorus. One bromine or one bromide from here attach with the hydrogen air and get removed in the form of HBr. Other Br get attached to this carbon like this. This is known as alpha bromo acids because carbonyl carbon is attached to a carbon which is called as an alpha carbon and bromine is attached to the alpha carbon. So alpha bromo acid. Alpha bromo acid react with ammonia to form amino acid. NH3 plus Br plus 1H makes NH4Br and second NH2 remaining NH2 attached to this carbon. Second step is, or the second method is from Strecker synthesis. As it is a name reaction, so it is important reaction with respect to paper. Strecker was a scientist who prepared the amino acids in this way. First of all, he took an aldehyde. Then he added hydrogen cyanide and ammonia to it. And he get alpha amino nitrile. Alpha is this carbon, amino is this group, and CN for nitrile. So we write alpha amino nitrile. As you know, cyanide groups upon acidic hydrolysis get converted into carboxylic group. So it upon hydrolysis in acidic medium this group get converted into carboxylic group. COOH, and this is the formula for amino acid. So here HCN and ammonia are forming this amino acid, and the name of this method is Strecker synthesis. It is important with reference to paper. All the name reactions in organic chemistry are important with reference to paper. Next point come here is reactions of these amino acids. All the amino acids gives two types of reactions. First one is formation of ester, and second one is formation of alpha hydroxy carboxylic acids. Let's see how amino acids are forming ester. Amino acids are written as RCH, NH2, C double bond O, OH, and we take an alcohol because carboxylic acid react with an alcohol to form an ester. Here, to differentiate between these two R, we put a prime over second R. OH and H combine to form water. Next RCH, NH2, C double bond O, O and R prime. This is the formula for ester. Second is formation of alpha hydroxy carboxylic acids. Whenever our amino acids are made to react with sodium nitrite in the presence of HCl, we always get alpha hydroxy carboxylic acid, which is having formula RCHOH COOH along with elimination of nitrogen gas and water. Now you can see why it is known as alpha hydroxy carboxylic acid, because directly attached to the carboxylic group is a carbon which is called as alpha carbon, and to that carbon hydroxy group is attached. So alpha hydroxy carboxylic acid is the name of this product. Next, sixth point is the chemical test. How we can differentiate amino acids from all other carboxylic acids. So there is a test to differentiate or detect amino acids, and this test is known as Ninhydrin test. Ninhydrin test. So whenever you have to detect or differentiate an amino acid, you do Ninhydrin test. In this test, we react this compound which is called as Ninhydrin with our amino acid or a given solution containing amino acids. If the solution turns deep blue, then there is a presence of amino acid. But if your testing material doesn't get deep blue color in the product, then your testing material does not contain amino acids. So this is how you can detect the presence or absence of amino acids. That amino acids give deep blue color upon reaction with this compound which is known as Ninhydrin. Next is the protein formation. How amino acids form these proteins. Proteins are also called as polypeptide chains of amino acids. Means many amino acids combine together to form a peptide or polypeptide, and many polypeptides combine together to form proteins. Let's see how proteins are formed from amino acids. Here I have written formulas for 2 amino acids. This is one amino acid starting from here to here, and this is another amino acid. OH part of one amino acid react with H part of the other amino acid to eliminate water from here and form the product like this. This is the product formed by combination of these two amino acids. C double bond O get bonded with this NH. C double bond O bond with NH. This bond is known as peptide bond. Whenever somebody asks you a question, what is a peptide bond or peptide linkage, what you will do, you will write the formulas for 2 amino acids, eliminate water molecule from there and form bond between C double bond O and NH. This bond is called as peptide bond. This is one peptide linkage. When a third amino acids comes, it will come here. NH2 part of the third amino acids get bond with this amino acid. Fourth amino acid, 5 amino acids, and many amino acids. Then there will be polypeptides, many peptide linkages, and all the many peptide linkages or polypeptide linkages forms proteins. Whenever we have a range of polypeptide chain or amino acids more than 10,000, then it is known as a protein. If it is less than 10,000 amino acids or peptide bonds, then we say it is polypeptide. So there is a big difference between polypeptide and protein. Long chain than 10,000 is called as protein and shorter than 10,000 is called as polypeptide. So 10,000 is the central point or the linkage point or the midpoint central point which is differentiate between polypeptide and a protein. Same as we cannot say one amino acid as a polypeptide. Similarly, we cannot say a polypeptide, a protein, until and unless it contains more than 10,000 amino acids. So this was all about amino acids. We have read how they form proteins, their chemical test, reactions shown by the amino acids, methods of preparations of amino acids, their acidic and basic behavior, that whenever an acid is added, amino acid behave as a base. Whenever a base is added, amino acid behave as an acid. Then types of amino acid, neutral, acidic and basic amino acids. So I hope so. Today's lecture is clear to all of you. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep learning. Allah Hafiz.